Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lerato Sevata, your procurement specialist. Guys, today we got something that is also important. Protecting your intellectual property. Almost everyone, when they start up or when they start having a client, they want a joint venture, they want a partner, they want to collaborate, they go into some sort of subcontractor, but they do not protect their intellectual property, your trade secret, the thing that makes you special about your business. And because you have this big brother that got this PO, and they say, please come in, we need you to help us with this. And when you go there excited and happy, and then you don't have any, IP rights that you would have signed, to make sure that no one steals your idea, or they go and present their idea, or your idea rather, or they go and present your idea as if it's theirs. Hey guys, it's a lot. So in fact, for this one, I made a couple of notes because hook up right, ne? So let's just talk about why you need to protect your IP, confidential secrets, copyrights, licenses and all. And I think to make it easier, I'll give you a quick little story about me. So there's a company that once approached me and said, hey, Lerato, we like the work that you do, the content that you put out there. Can you please come and help us create more, videos and, assist us so that we can keep this thing going? Of course, it was an exciting opportunity, and also it's an overseas company, so why not? And when I met, we just be paid in dollars and whatever. To my surprise, I'm telling you, like real life information. These guys are saying, well, when you produce your videos, when you do your work, then we need you to actually make sure that you hand over everything to us. Okay, what does that mean? Meaning, we are allowed to use your videos anywhere we want, perpetually, meaning without any limits. We can use it until Jesus Christ comes to whoever client. And we own the license because we're going to be playing your video on our platform. And okay, cool. So what does Lerato own? Basically nothing. You just need to sit to record with your pretty little face and your content and your information, just record. And I thought to myself, wow, this is hectic. So then I thought, okay, can I then be paid for some of the work that you may have, access to, that you may sell my videos to some of your clients and, start negotiating those rebates, and the sorts, right? Of course, there's royalty fees that you must be paying. I mean, the similar thing like the music industry. For as long as your music is played by whoever somewhere, you need to be getting royalty fees, right? So I'm like, as long as you can play my videos wherever, let me get a portion of some sense of that money, because some people are consuming my own intellectual property. I mean, you're not giving me the content to just sit and record with a script. I'm coming up with it. And they're like, nope, zero payment for you. The only time you may just be paid, in fact, is when people start viewing your videos. Okay, where am I viewing this thing? Story goes on and on. It's on their platform that I don't even have access to a platform. I can't even check who actually has control of that platform. I have nothing. So now, guys, can you imagine what then I did? I said, hell to the no, to the T. I mean, they're playing with the wrong person because, child, I understand contracts, right? And that's the thing, that had I not read that clause very well, IP rights, licenses properly, I shall be sending away my life. I was probably not even going to own this channel, Procurement with Lerato, because that means that they'll probably have access and use it. Imagine. And unfortunately, some of these terminologies and the way the contracts word IP and licenses and copyrights and all, it's not an easy piece read to a regular, someone who just wants to provide a service, plumbing services or cleaning services, security services, whatever, right? If you're not exposed to the legal jargon of contracts, it's very intimidating. It's quite cumbersome. It's long. It's like, what is this? And especially these clauses about the confidentiality, trade secrets. Hey, this is a tribula. The way they're written, I sometimes need to position myself, think, and read line by line, and it can be so confusing. So That's why sometimes it's good, guys, before you sign a contract, have it run through your legal team. If you don't have a legal team, find someone who does contracts that can help you interpret and understand what are they saying before you actually sign there. And sometimes if you don't even have those people, ask that partner or that client to interpret and make sure you understand. Firstly, procurement teams are responsible to do that. If it is not them, then someone from business needs to do that, or from legal. Say, explain it to me as A, B, C to a 5-year-old what this clause means. And another tip is, if you don't understand what that clause means, or you somewhat understand but not really sure, what you then can do is ask the legal team to reciprocate that clause. That makes sure you're also in the favorable terms. That's like an easy hack to not find yourself in trouble. And I mean, this also works with limitation of liability, right? If you don't understand limitation of liability clause, any clause that has limitation of liability in the contract, it must have limit. So if you don't have it, so anyway, the point about this whole video is understanding your trade secrets are protected. And remember, the fact that you're signing a contract that does not hand over your rights as a business, then you are protected as a business, right? So many people have stories, lots of stories, where they didn't know, and unfortunately the company owned the rights to do whatever they could, even with your logo, they will own it and change it up, So it's important to understand that modifications that even can be made, or deviation of works to your type of work, when you're working with these companies, you have to authorize, you have to make sure that you're happy with it. If not, then you must limit it. It is out of scope. Let's stick to me being a subcontractor. Let's stick to me being a partner. Let's stick to me helping us do this thing, but not owning any sort of IP, unless, of course, you give it away. Ne? Let's make another example. So many videographers, especially the creatives, that do, producing of videos, content, and whatever. Some marketing consultants as well, they find themselves in this type of problems. The big agency would say, well, produce this piece of work, we'll then go and present to the client. They're obviously going to go to the client and say, this is the team that we have, and this is what work we've produced, and therefore, of course, as their business, they will own it with the client as a big marketing agency. But when there's a small creative, someone who does the comms, or the creative director of that small company that came up with the concept, if you don't say, excuse me, this concept belongs to me and my company, and I'm not willing to sell it, then they will own it. And you can't be angry tomorrow if you start seeing it in big billboards overseas and whatnot, and they're only paying you a very small piece of money, right? Or compensation is very small. And the other challenge is that if you then don't have strict boundaries on your IP, you will find people making money with your work. Even after the relationship is terminated, the contract is terminated. Let's just say, you got a advertising client, whatever, for 2 years, you're working with this company, you were doing the work together, you're producing content, or you're a subcontractor, you are working with this client, you're constructing buildings and whatnot, stuff. You're just doing things together. Sharp. When the relationship terminates due to various reasons, maybe we'll have a video on some of these things about bad, relationship terminating. But be that as it may, the relationship terminates, contract terminates, you guys are no longer working together. This company that owns the master agreement with the client, they still go and pitch work with your work, right? Or your own products, your own IP basically, your own trade secrets, because they do not secure it. And they claim it as theirs. Of course, it is infringement, but if it's not protected, here's the thing about infringement law and all the other things. By virtue of you producing something from scratch, you own it, right? You're already protected. But if it's not general information, of course, right? Because you also must make sure you don't take people's things and claim that it's yours. Ne? But by virtue of you creating something, it already belongs to you. But if you further want to protect it and make sure, this thing that which I own, I can commercialize it, and no one can go and make money commercially with my stuff, then you have to make sure that you protect it. But if you did not protect it, other people can say, it was our idea, when we happy. This is ours. And what do you have to prove? Nada. And your contracts, maybe they don't even have any sort of agreement to say, nope, you will not use these things for commercial use with your clients, and unfortunately, the disadvantage of not mentioning these things, guys, is that they will leave you with no business at all. That's why people go and do trademarks, right? with CIPC and them. I mean, it's a long process, and it's costly process, but that's the price you have to pay. Now, guys, let's talk quickly on how can you protect yourself from such vultures. Yeah, but like business, they are business vultures. Don't even be mistaken. So you have to use agreements, right? Written agreement. If the agreement is not written, then unfortunately you are exposing yourself to things that tomorrow you may find yourself in trouble and not be able to claim your rights and go and challenge it at the court of law. So make sure that you define your ownership of the intellectual property. Who owns it, right? As a subcontractor, if created this thing, make sure it's clear. Own it and indicate that as a small business, I own this part, you own this part. This is explicitly ours. And here's another thing about contracts. Implied terms and express terms, right? And then if you express it in a contract, absolutely. Any implied term, you must ask your legal person to protect you. That you may think that you own, you must rather say it. And even if you did not say, but it's implied term that will actually work together with the use of your IP without your rights, then that also needs to be protected. There's a way to write it, but I'm just high level saying. Ensure that your confidential agreements in terms of NDAs, they are signed. And there's a misunderstanding of having an NDA, a memorandum of understanding, and having the actual contract. A lot of you guys are happy just to sign the NDA and think the life has ended. We signed an NDA, huh? After signing an NDA, then what? NDA just means non-disclosure agreements. It does not say nothing. It just says you can't talk about this information outside of the parties that have talked about this information. If it's just the two of us, we sign an NDA, we say, hey, this is the secret between us. We're talking about this. It remains here. But it does not protect no IP, no trade secrets. There's no conflict resolution stuff there, right? So you have to have an NDA, of course, when you start in the relationship, but make sure you also write things in your contract, ne? Okay, register for copyrights and trademarks. This is an obvious one, if really that's what is important. But ultimately, you have to enforce your policies and always seek legal advice when you feel like you are exposed. I know, guys, when you get a job, or someone wants to work with you, or a big agency to work with you, you quickly jump onto the opportunity. You quickly wanna, do the work. You can't do that. You can't go and see in front. That's not how you run a successful business. Train yourself now, guys, to do what is right. Train yourself now to actually get into the habit of drafting contracts. Don't even be afraid. These guys, they know we need to sign proper agreements. So who's like no, they will play with you. You can't. Ne? And the unfortunate thing also is that if you don't then define your IP rights in your contract, unfortunately you suffer damages that tomorrow you cannot even recover, right? I mean, IP law is hectic. It's even a specialist. You can even find an IP copyright legal advice that focuses predominantly on that. When you know the type of services you offer, they're just not generic, they're bespoke, they're unique, and therefore you have to protect this thing. I produce content. My content is from me. It's not from nobody. Of course, some things are learned through experience and schooling and whatnot. But for me to create something that makes sense and I own it, it's coming from me. I'm the originator. I have to have some protection on my work. Otherwise, some people will just come in, take it, do whatever, go and then if that's the case, you can be like that guy that won the Please Call Me service with the network providers. And today, I'm not, because what happened? So anyway, please guys, if you have been in situations where work was taken away from you, for some reason removed off site, and people are using your services, your work, your creativity, your ideas, and unfortunately you didn't even sign stuff that protects, please do comment down below. Let me know. I do also have some legal team that can help you with some of these issues. Definitely refer you to them. I work with really credible people, and or someone that you know that might have gone through similar experiences. Let's see how we can do better to avoid such things going forward. And then yes, once again, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, guys. Please, I need to grow my subscribers to 10,000 before end of the year. But thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you got one or two things for you. to help you protect your work and your business. Intellectual property is very important. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers!